They told you turning 60 meant life starts to slow down, that your energy fades, your drive takes a back seat, and intimacy, well, that was supposed to be part of the past. But what if they were wrong? I'm Dr. Avery, men's health specialist with over a decade of experience working with older adults across the U.S. And I'm here to tell you something I've discovered after working in the U.S. with thousands of men past 60, even 70. There are natural ways to reignite your energy, stamina, and even your intimacy. And no, I'm not talking about another pill, powder, or hormone injection. I'm talking about 5 everyday foods, real, whole foods that can awaken the parts of your body you thought were shutting down. They're easy to find, simple to add to your routine, and shockingly powerful once they enter your bloodstream. And in just a few moments, I'll walk you through each one. What it does, how to use it, and why it matters more now than ever. Now, let's not waste another second. Because the first food on this list is something most men ignore. Or worse, joke about. Beets. That's right. Those deep red roots your mother used to force on your plate. They're not just heart healthy. They might be the most powerful performance food men over 60 are not using. Now, here's something that's not always talked about by experts. Beets don't just improve circulation, they teach your blood vessels how to open again. You see, as we age, the tiny muscles around your arteries become stiff, not clogged, just lazy. And what do lazy arteries mean? Slower blood flow, weaker erections, colder hands and feet, even fatigue that hits like a wall by 2 p.m. But beets? They're like a personal trainer for your blood vessels. They're packed with natural nitrates that convert to nitric oxide, a compound your body needs to open up those vessels, especially the ones below the belt. Now, you might have heard about nitric oxide boosters before, but here's what makes beets different. They work with your biology. They don't force a response like a pill. They train your system to perform again. And that's the key after 60. It's not about pushing harder. It's about helping your body remember what it was built to do. And here's how to use it. Start with half a cup of roasted beets or blend 1 small beet into your morning smoothie. Even better. Drink 4 ounces of pure beet juice an hour before activity. Any activity. Within days, you might feel more alert. And within weeks, many men report firmer, longer-lasting performance and more energy all day. And just wait till you see what's next. Because the second food on this list doesn't just boost your drive, it protects your testosterone like a shield. Now, this next one, most guys don't even realize it's sitting in their pantry collecting dust. But for men over 60, this tiny nut might be your testosterone's last line of defense. Brazil nuts. Not almonds, not peanuts. Just 1 Brazil nut a day can make the difference between low energy and a hormonal comeback you didn't think was still possible. Here's why. After 60, your body's ability to produce testosterone doesn't just slow down, it gets blocked. And one of the silent blockers is selenium deficiency. Selenium is a trace mineral. Your body needs only a little. But if it's missing, your testosterone tank stays on empty no matter how clean you eat or how many supplements you take. And guess what food holds the highest natural source of selenium on the planet? Yup, Brazil nuts. 1 single nut contains over 100% of your daily selenium needs. But it gets even better. Selenium doesn't just help testosterone. It also fuels glutathione, your body's master antioxidant. The thing that helps you recover faster, fight off fatigue, and keep inflammation from stealing your energy and bedroom confidence. I once had a 68-year-old client, former Navy officer from North Carolina, proud guy. He was doing all the right things: exercise, diet, hydration, but his numbers stayed low. We added just 2 Brazil nuts a day, consistently. Within a month, his drive came back. Within 3, his doctor was asking what supplement he was taking. He just smiled. Now, here's how to use it. Eat 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day, not more. They're powerful. Pair them with your first meal or use them as an evening snack. Avoid roasting them too high. Raw or lightly toasted is best to preserve the selenium. And here's the twist. Brazil nuts don't spike testosterone like a drug. They restore the foundation so your hormones can rise naturally and stay balanced. Coming up next is a food that doesn't just affect your body, it rewires your brain, sharpening your focus, your memory, and yes, your desire. And I bet it might surprise you because it's often seen as a treat, a dessert, or a guilty pleasure. But for men over 60, dark chocolate, real dark chocolate, can be a secret weapon for both your mind and your manhood. Not the sugary stuff lining supermarket shelves. I'm talking about 85% cacao or higher, the bitter kind most people avoid. But inside that bitter bite, there's a powerful truth. Dark chocolate rewires your brain and opens your blood vessels at the same time. Here's how. As you age, 2 things often fade without warning: mental sharpness, emotional desire, and behind both, a lack of blood flow and a drop in dopamine. Dopamine is your motivation chemical. It fuels your drive, not just to perform, but to care. Care about connection, touch, purpose. Dark chocolate boosts dopamine naturally. It also contains flavonols that relax your arteries and increase blood flow to the brain and pelvic area. And you can guess what that translates to: better focus, more energy, more desire, and better function. But here's the deeper layer no one talks about. Dark chocolate helps rebuild the neurovascular link between your emotions and your performance. So it's not just about getting it up. It's about feeling more alive while you're at it. And in a world where older men are told to settle for numbness, brain fog, and fading intimacy, this one simple food helps flip the switch again. And here's how to use it. Break off 1 to 2 squares of 85% plus dark chocolate per day. Best taken in the early afternoon or after dinner as a slow melt-in-your-mouth treat. Do not combine with milk. Milk reduces the absorption of its core compounds. One of my patients from Arizona told me, "I haven't felt this sharp, this tuned in years, and my wife noticed too." That can be your experience too if you try it. And next, we'll talk about a food that brings it all together: circulation, hormones, recovery, and even muscle tone. This one, you've probably never seen it like this before, but before we dive into it, let me ask you something. If you've gotten even one insight so far, something that made you pause, that gave you hope, then please, don't keep it to yourself. Drop a quick comment below, even if it's just a 1. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Why? Because every comment, every like, every new subscriber tells the YouTube algorithm this video must be important for men. And when that happens, this message gets pushed to more men. Men who are struggling in silence, men who think they're alone, men who need to hear that their body can come back to life. So if you want to do something simple but powerful, engage. Not for you, but for another man out there who might need this more than you know. All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about a food that looks like a fruit, but hits like a pre-workout for your arteries and hormones. Pomegranate. Now, most guys think of it as something fancy, something you'd see on a salad at a spa. But what they don't know is this: pomegranate is nature's testosterone tonic and one of the most powerful blood flow enhancers for men over 60. Here's the part nobody tells you. Pomegranate doesn't just improve nitric oxide levels, it actually blocks the enzymes that break down testosterone. Let that sink in. It's not just helping you produce more, it's helping your body hold on to the testosterone it's already making, instead of letting it get stripped away and flushed out. That means stronger recovery, clearer thinking, and a fire in your belly that doesn't fizzle out by lunchtime. And there's more. Pomegranate also reduces arterial plaque and improves carotid artery thickness, which has been directly linked to better erectile strength and lower cardiovascular risk. I had a 72-year-old man, a retired firefighter from Arizona, come in complaining of mental fog and lack of drive. He was walking, eating decently. No major issues. We added just half a glass of pomegranate juice daily, 100% pure. Within 2 weeks, his energy spiked. By the 4th week, he told me, "I'm waking up with morning wood again, Doc. Didn't think I'd ever say that sentence at my age." Here's exactly how to use it. Drink 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened pomegranate juice daily, preferably in the morning. Or add 1/2 cup of fresh pomegranate seeds to your oatmeal or yogurt. Just avoid the sugar-loaded blends or cocktails in stores. You want it pure. And if you stick with it, you might just start to feel like your body remembers who it used to be. Now, the last food on this list is subtle. It doesn't roar like pomegranate or pump like beets. But what it does, it melts stress, resets your nervous system, and unlocks emotional connection in ways that make intimacy possible again. Let's close strong. Now, this last food is not flashy. It doesn't spike your hormones or flood your veins, but don't let its calm fool you, because avocado is the unsung hero of male vitality, especially for men over 60 who want strength, stability, and deep connection back in their lives. Here's the truth most people never get to hear. Avocados are more than healthy fat. They're nervous system repair food. And if there's one thing that quietly kills intimacy in older men, it's not just low T or poor circulation. It's stress, mental fatigue, and nervous system burnout. When you've spent decades pushing through life, providing, performing, surviving, your nervous system begins to armor up. You stop feeling, you stop resting, you stop connecting. Avocados? They help peel that armor back, layer by layer. They're packed with magnesium, potassium, and vitamin B6. A trio that works together to calm cortisol, your stress hormone, balance mood, and promote deep restorative sleep. But there's more. Avocados also support testosterone by lowering SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. That's the stuff that locks up free testosterone and keeps it from doing its job. Avocados lower it naturally, allowing more of your T to actually work. And there's one more benefit older men don't expect. The monounsaturated fats in avocado help you absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, which play a huge role in sexual function, skin health, joint support, and immune strength. I had a widowed patient in his late 60s tell me, "I hadn't felt close to anyone in years until I started feeling close to myself again." What changed? Daily walks, lower stress, and half an avocado with his breakfast every morning. And here's how to use it. Add half an avocado to your breakfast plate or mash it into a piece of whole grain toast. Blend it into a smoothie with banana and cocoa for a brain and hormone boost. It's not about intensity here, it's about nourishment, about giving your nervous system permission to rest so your body can rise. And now that we've covered these 5 foods, let's tie it all together, because knowing is one thing, but turning this into a new rhythm for your body and your life, that's where the real change begins. So now you know. 5 simple foods: beets, Brazil nuts, dark chocolate, pomegranate, and avocado. None of them are magic, but all of them are messages to your body that say, I'm still with you. I still believe you've got more life left in you. I choose connection over decline. Because here's something most men over 60 never get to hear. Your body hasn't quit. It's been waiting for the right signals, the right support, the right belief. And the beauty of this approach, you don't need pills. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need a few small, consistent choices that say, I'm still in the game. So tomorrow morning, when you slice open that avocado, pop a Brazil nut, sip some beet juice, or take a bite of dark chocolate, remember, this isn't about food. It's about taking back ownership of your health, your manhood, and your future. Now, before you go, I need to ask you something important. If this video helped you, even in the smallest way, don't keep it to yourself. Because right now, somewhere, there's another man out there sitting in silence, tired, disconnected, wondering if this is all life has left for him. And you have the power to push this message in his direction. Every time you like, comment, or subscribe, you tell the algorithm, this matters, show it to someone else. So don't just do it for me. Do it for the next man who needs this. Do it for the brother, the neighbor, the dad, the husband, who's still searching for a spark. Drop a comment below, even just a one hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Let's push this message far beyond this screen. Because together, we don't just age, we rise with strength, clarity, and connection. And it starts now.